Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. And we continue to stream stories of entrepreneurship and business during this time of great economic change. And, we're expecting a lot of change for 2021. We just hope it's a different type and a more positive form of change. And, we've had since day one of our key reporters has been Mark Furman, a director and partner at Tarlow, Hart Rodgers. And I want to remind everybody that Mark Furman, we have a whole bank account of old interviews with Mark, and you can find them all on Radio Entrepreneurs on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, and also our website, radioentrepreneurs.com. And I'm sure Mark's wife goes up all the time when he's sleeping and watches all the old interviews with her husband. And welcome back, Mark.
Hey, Jeffrey, great to be with you. I think it helps my wife fall back to sleep. So that's what, it's good that those are available.
It is. Well, my wife thinks you're adorable, so it just shows you,
Could be time for an eye exam, though, for her.
It's all about personality for her, except for the person she picked to live with. So, Mark, what's going on in the legal world today? I know it's busy.
Well, it is busy. I'd say the legal world is very active with business transactions. Business disputes are certainly active, and we're settling a lot of cases. I'm seeing, signs of economic challenges in some of the cases being brought, where I've had a sense that maybe they wouldn't be brought if the economy was stronger. Competitive pressures, maybe good old-fashioned competition is more of a threat right now. We have, great uncertainty in business. But, courts have adapted to this pandemic now. We're having a lot of Zoom hearings, working from home. I do have to master the feature that when I appear in court on Zoom, I don't have to look at myself. When I'm in court, everybody else is stuck looking at me, but I don't have to. But so aside from the need for a makeup artist, which I don't have, no, it's really back to, I would say, normal. Cases are getting processed, not trials. I haven't had any trials during this period, but important hearings, motions seeking to dismiss cases in their entirety or to decide them without trial. Mediation is very active, and I think the mediators have never been busier, and the Zoom technology is perfectly suited for mediation, with breakout rooms, the ability to meet privately with the mediator, without the mediator, have group sessions. I think that has been really seamless. And if parties have an interest in resolving cases in a way that they get to control the outcome, it's really a good option right now.
Well, I would assume right now, that in terms of what I'm even seeing in businesses, there's a lot more pressure on business relationships right now, on billings, and some firms are cracking under the pressure of this economy. Not all. Some it's made us better. But I would assume that when firms are breaking up and there are fights, that mediation is becoming much more important than ever before, and a better source for resolution.
It is. What you've, I find the key to mediation is the timing. You have to take the pulse of the situation, whether the timing is right for your client, which, after doing this for a long time, have a pretty clear sense of. But what's more challenging is trying to figure out whether the time is right for the other side, because you're not talking to the other side. So it's developing a relationship with the lawyer on the other side figuring out whether the trust is there or not, whether the lawyer's ready to push for a resolution, and whether the client is ready to, the other client is ready to try to resolve the case. I think it's particularly challenging when there's more than two parties in the case, where there can be it's sometimes defendants where there are few co-defendants can do this, it's not me, it's them or them. So it's more art than science. It's not really law. It's just making an educated guess based upon the relationships you develop in the case and based upon your experience, whether the time is right. So this year, I settled a bunch of cases even before suit was filed and early in the case, things that would have gone on before. And, what I like about the Zoom technology is it's very efficient for having court hearings. I had something down on Cape Cod the other day, last week, and, before COVID, I'd have to, get up at the break of dawn and be down there. And it's, it takes a little while to get down to the Cape. Then there may be, 10 or 12 cases scheduled. You wait for your turn and you have your hearing, and then you drive back, and easily half the day is gone. With Zoom, prepare for the case. I log on 15 minutes before the hearing just in case there's a problem. Many courts are now just scheduling cases, one case for a particular time slot. So it saves the clients money, saves lawyers time, and there's very few hearings, I'd call them non-trial hearings, that can't be conducted remotely. And that includes injunction hearings, motions to dismiss, motions for summary judgment, status conference, disputes about discovery matters. There's just a ton of business that can be conducted, through Zoom. And so I hope some of these things are more permanent changes, because we need to have a way that litigation can be less expensive for clients. And I think it's one tool to be able to help in the cost. And, commuting to court, commuting to work, these are all things that take up tremendous amount of time.
Well, let's get a little bit also reality on this. I think Donald Trump proved to us that we can have the court system still work, in that he had over 50 court cases decided in the last 4 or 5 weeks. That's pretty fast, isn't it? I know he's the president, but clearly the system is working, because that's been court cases at all levels in all different states, correct?
Yes. It's been, and they're all, emergency cases, because the timing of, electors being elected through the electoral college system, you really have between the election and you have 5 or 6 weeks. So many cases have been, really conclusively resolved. There's still a few ones pending, but, we're now at the point that the electors have been chosen, and all that's left is the counting of the electoral college votes by Congress. And I'm no expert on this, but I have been following this closely, and they get counted in the House and Senate, and people do have an opportunity to raise an objection, but an objection has to be approved by both the House and the Senate by a majority. So I think, given where we're at now, I think it's
It's a complete.
I think so.
But, I mean, I actually see this as a great process of democracy, not hypocrisy, but a process of democracy that despite, not wanting to win, that, the Supreme Court has proven itself to be independent from the political process and other courts as well. And that's what you really want in this society. You want courts who are not dominated by the government. That's been something I know I grew up with. Looking at countries, I grew up believing that in the communist world, the courts were dominated by the governments. And one of the things I think that's great here is the separation. And I think that's what we're seeing. No matter what the decision was, they decided based upon the merits of these cases. And that's what these judges all tried to make clear, that their politics did not get involved with the decision. And I think that should be reassuring to all of us.
Yes. And now there's the Georgia runoff of the 2 Senate seats there in early January. And those are undoubtedly going to be highly contested races, probably very close, with enormous amounts of money coming into Georgia for those races, where the stakes are control of the U.S. Senate. It's a huge thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's litigation, in January over that election.
Well,
We'll see.
It's always great talking with you, Mark. You're always very informed, very thoughtful about what you do. Again, you've been at Tarlow, Hart Rodgers forever. But if someone were looking for you in this, time of great change, legal advice, corporate advice, how would they find you?
I can be reached at 617-218-2025. That's my direct line. And my email address is mfurman, Furman, at tbhr-law.com.
Well, thank you very much, Mark, for your stories. And we look forward to speaking to you again in 2021 and still this year before we're done on Radio Entrepreneurs.